I hope you can also see my screen.
Yeah, I'm able to see this.
Yeah. Okay. So yesterday we were discussing about this invalid login functionality test case, and we executed it from execution list. Yeah, we created how we can. We have seen how we can create this execution list and how to execute it. We can execute individual test case. We can also execute under a group all the test cases. So and the configurations, yes, you can set it if you want. So about the negative test case, it,
Pradeep, can you go to execution tab once?
yeah,
Yeah, on the left hand side, these are not displayed green, right? The above ones. Okay, those are not readed, right? Okay, okay. Yeah, the below ones.
correct,
No, to add
correct.
those in the repository, testing demo, web shop, and something.
Mm-hmm.
So that is needed, right?
Yeah, yeah. So this has to be do check in all, and then once you do it, it goes over there, and then you can see it over there.
Okay,
It is just created but not sent to the repository. Right?
repository, right? Yeah.
Yes. Right. So about the third test case, what I would do is, so if you see in this test case, we had automated and verified error message, which is what login was unsuccessful, this one. But if you see, if you see here, let me just execute this one till this error message. So I'll execute it. It's executing, opening Chrome browser. So it says we are just verifying this login was successful, right? This thing, and we haven't verified this message. So if our test case is specific to that sort of verification, then this is just normal verifying error message. We can say login unsuccessful, kind of something. Login unsuccessful. That is one sort of verification, but then we also want to do another verification, which is what this no customer account found. So for that, what we can do? So we have already seen our module. Uh, so in this module, we were like, what did we do? For this, the credentials provided are incorrect. That is one sort of verification. The other one that we get is no customer account found. So the same thing, uh, I will just rename it so that it would be more relevant. So we have this two error message. So if you have anything else, we can even add it here and on the same note. And then let's say if you want to verify this one as well, no customer account found. So how we can do? Again, drag and drop that module or find that module in this. So I'll add this step again. So in this time I would be verifying this sort of error message. So I would say uh, just verify the value versus exist to be true. So here we are verifying verify no customer account found error message. So that we are verifying it, right? So this one we are verifying. Now this test case would verify that. Now this verifies only when what? We are giving an email ID which is not present. So the same way, let's say if we have given an email ID which is present. So for an example, I'll just remove this one. Okay, I'll just remove that. I'll copy this test case, paste it, make it as test case. Test case verify invalid login functionality inside this. This is what
Email one wrong.
in
Incorrect email.
correct. Yeah.
CO or
So incorrect
email ID.
credentials we can say. And then to be more specific for this, no customer account, something like that. No customer account. So this these two are the ones that we'll be doing. So one, we are verifying with no customer account, and the another one is incorrect uh, email ID. So in this incorrect email ID, we would want all these steps. We would want all these steps. But then, like if you see open application login link, and then page is displayed, that is fine. Enter username. So now here, the username that we want to enter is to get this sort of incorrect credential error, as our manual test case would say, we need to give an email ID which is existing in the system. So since I have already registered with my email ID, I would give my email ID over here, pradeeptawalji@gmail.com. So I will give my email ID, and then password, yes, a wrong password, and then clicking on login this way, and then verify unsuccessful, yes we get. But when you would verify no customer account, here the test script may get failed, right? So that is what we would be just looking for. Let me execute it. So I'll close that. You see, email ID has been given, password, and then it has verified that login was successful. But the next message, it has closed the application. But if you see the test case, it has the verification has failed. Verification has failed. Reason is expected was true, but actual was false. Meaning no customer account, we haven't got it. Why we haven't got? If you would see the screenshot as well, uh, if you would see screenshot, what is this 28? Right, this on date. If you would see, if you would see this screenshot, you would come to know that this message, yes, it has been taken, but the error message that we got here is the credentials provided are incorrect. But what were we verifying? We were verifying no customer account, which means, yes, we were verifying a different message. So we won't get this message. We would get this message, right? The credentials provided are incorrect. So here we have to verify it. Verify exists equals to, that's it. So now if you execute, yes, this test case would get passed. So in this So in this verify login, what we will be doing, we were just seeing if the login page is successfully displayed or not. If it is displayed, yes, our test case is passed, we are saying. The second test case we had created with an invalid login functionality, giving a user which is not there in the system. And then we are verifying no customer account, message. So the third test case is again invalid, but giving a user which is registered but incorrect credentials. So related to that, we were verifying that error message. If you see here. So these are the three test cases that, yes, we have did. Now let's jump onto the positive test case. So what we will do is we want to log in to the system. and see if we are successfully able to log in or not. So how we can do that? I'll take one of the test case, copy of one of the test case, paste it. So I would say verify login or valid login functionality or verify login functionality. So this would be my fourth test case, let's say, port ID. And then what do we need in this? We need open application this, yes, fine. Screenshot is fine, enter username. Yes, I want to enter this username. Password for my username, or what I will do is I will remove this. Enter, instead of enter username, I'll say enter login credentials. And then here in this, I'll give email ID. I'll also give password. Password is 12345 6. And then the login button, I just want to click. I can do this click or X. I'll do X. And then as soon as I click on this, I won't get any error messages. I'm not expecting for error message. It should successfully log in. So I'll just remove all this stuff. It should successfully log in is what I'm expecting. So I'll just right click and run it, run all this stuff. So it has entered and it has given us the logged in screen. So now can you just tell me how we can know if the script has logged into the application or not by seeing this page? How would you confirm if we have got a login screen?
Otherwise, it would have showed red color, right?
Red color, that is one. But other thing, other than that, anything else? Just closely see what could be relevant to your test
Like
case,
that login
or
page only, it's not displayed, right? So it has
even
log.
one that is other thing. But more relevant, more closer is what I would want you to come.
That
Aruna,
welcome
can you
message should display.
welcome?
That welcome message left side of the screen.
Where there's no welcome message here, right?
And it is now is it is in logout.
Log out. Yeah, that is one sort of this thing. Or once we log in, we can also see which user has logged in. So that user email ID would be shown. So if you would see in the login screen, it would be just login and then this thing, right? Registered, login, and the other links. But as soon as you log in, you would see either logout or the most common of this one, very commonly used one. Else again on this, we can also see the username. So with these things, yes, we can assume it is login. Other things, as Nawaz, you were saying, yes, we can also check if login page is not displayed, if that error message is not displayed, we can do that. But this one would be more relevant than that. So I hope I'm clear on that part.
Okay, yeah, yeah, brother.
Yeah. So we will verify this thing then. So first, if we want to verify, so we need to have that step, right? So if we want to have that step, first thing is we need to have that module. So we already know we haven't used or scanned, or nobody from our team has scanned it. So if someone has scanned, we should have just come here, check first whatever the modules are there, any relevant modules to our page, if it is there or not, is what we need to check. So that way, if someone has, let's say, scanned, used, and then say they have already did logout thing, so what we can do, we don't have to scan it again, we can use their module, drag and drop onto our test case. We can do it that way. But then since it is not there, so we will do it freshly. So I'll say scan application. So I'll click this. I will click on condense. And then for now, I just want only these two things. One is this email ID field. The other one is logout. and then close. That's it. So these two are enough for me. I'll say this is what page is this? This is after login, right? So we can say home page. If we won't say home page is the previous one, then this page you can say what, rename it to whatever you think is relevant. I would say after logged in screen or initial. So I can say this as home page, whereas the other one is initial page, which would be more relevant, I think. So demo web shop, this is what, uh, home page. I would say this one as home page, and title, I'm fine with this. So sometimes when the title is like, okay, going to change. So demo web shop is now, later it would be demo webshop.register, demo webshop.login, or demo webshop is common, or some sort of thing is common, but every different page when you go, you would see title is changing. But if you want it to be identified for all of this, like let's say demo is common or web shop is common. If web shop is common, what we can do to our title is we'll keep web shop and then star, or star, which means regular experience. So we are not caring what earlier ones is or what later part is, but that title of that module or that screen should have web page in this W capital and S capital. So this should have, so that uh, I'm okay to find those modules is what we are telling. So we can have this one, or we can say uh, demo star. So it should start with demo, but
Ravi,
anything else. Yeah.
if in case it doesn't navigate to that page, but if we keep this title, so in the previous page also it would able to identify this demo, right?
Right.
So
It would identify, but then, oh yes, module would be identified. But then next thing is what element were we identifying? So if we are identifying this element property has to be there on that page. And we would be sure like, okay, this property won't be there. Basically, uh, this thing won't be shown in the previous page, right? If we are not logged in successfully.
I
So
got it. But
yeah,
even that home page, demo web shop home page,
yeah.
that module name, is it okay just for the sake it should be unique?
Yes, what we prefer in real time is, so if we have just if we get one sort of common link for all the pages of our application, that is the best practice. Why? Because for different page, different title if we are giving, and just all in one shot, if we just want to know, okay, for this module, what is the title you have used? To know, you have to click on it and you have to see it. And for this, if you have used different, again, like if you have hundreds and thousands, so for which thing you have given what, so that thing gets bit difficult. Other thing is, uh, what I would say is, why we shouldn't give different things is, so if you see here, demo webshop.login, and so this one would be again just normal demo web shop. This one is demo web shop.login, I guess. Yes. So we won't be knowing just in one shot or quicker way, like how many modules would we use, what all type of title and all. Going forward, if something has changed, let's suppose title of this, instead of demo web shop now, they renamed it to demo web etc something. So when they say that, so at that moment you might already know, like we had used demo web and then shop or something for all of our modules, and now going changing in each and everything would be tedious task to change that thing and make sure our script is working. So in that case, if we just have a common one, so demo star when we keep it, so and if we use one thing, we can just rely on that part, and we would be sure, okay, the elements would be identified on that page for our application. So it's a best practice to have something which is unique for our application, and throughout that application, if we have the same thing, it would be better. So yeah, so am I clear, Arun?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see here, this is what the next field, right? So this field, what I'm doing is, this is nothing but the username or email ID displayed. So what I will say is, I won't say this one. This is not the email ID. I'll say this is user account or something like that. I'll say this is user account, and the properties, if you see, default name is email ID, and what else? If you see tag, I would remove inner text for now. If you see tag with a, there are many links on the page. So how to be more specific? So even we can select href. If you are selecting href as well, customer slash info, there are multiple things. So even this is not there. And if we select email ID related, so every time, let's say if email ID we are selecting, an email ID would be what? This is, I have logged in with my email ID. Now, if I have logged in with your email ID, let's say, so then if I'm using this property would get failed saying property with tag is found, but with inner text of uh, Pradeep, it would be looking for, but you have logged in with Aruna, let's say, or you have now logged in with Nawaz. So that email ID, if you have logged in, so this element doesn't get identified. So in such cases, we have to be make sure that we shouldn't be using this common things like this one. So what else we can take? If we can, how we can identify? We can identify if no properties is there, we can identify by anchor or index. Image, yeah, very rare. Let's don't use. I would suggest not to use. But then anchor or index. So index only when there is no other option. Anchor, yes, you can take anchor. And when you take anchor, on what basis would you take? You can take based on logout element. Try to identify this one or any other thing. So you can identify it that way. Or if you see this class name as well, I see this class name. Class name is just account. So I can take this class name and see if any other element is having that class name. So I guess it is having still. So if we see the index part, how many are there? There are two. One is this, and the other might be account, might be somewhere else again. I'm not sure where it is pointing to. So index would be one, but if you see any other thing, right? And if you take this href is also common. It is not identifying. Enabled is derable. We can take this property, but still it is not identifying. So these things it is not identifying. We have taken a lot of properties, but then yeah, the last option that would be left is either anchor or index. I'll use for now index. So this is first index, and when as soon as I select this would be unique now. So this first one is what we are trying to identify. And then logout, if you see, logout is inner text, we are fine, or class name, icon logout, anything, or default name. You can take any of this property. So this is what I'm saying homepage, and I'll say okay, save and close it. So as soon as I close, so this I would rename it to, this is not, I would say homepage, I would say this as initial page. So it would be better because this would be confusing. So after login page, logged in page is what I'm calling it as homepage. So homepage is having only this two for now, and this properties. So yes, after login, we want that module. So we will be calling this module, drag and drop. So as soon as we have logged in, what we will be doing is, immediately the page won't come. Sometimes when you log in, depending on application, depending on this thing, the page, next page won't come immediately. So you might have to use some wait time, this static wait, or else some dynamic wait. So I prefer using dynamic wait. Even in real time, we prefer doing that dynamic wait. So how we can add some dynamic wait? So we would wait for
Open
this
braces you can use.
this logout to appear first thing. So how we can do logout? So action mode. So action mode should be what? Wait on. Wait on should be the action mode, and then we are waiting for this logout element to be visible or exist, to be true. So
Pradeep,
here we
we
can
can
say,
use that open braces also, right? Like
what is that open braces?
open braces, and then there is some wait time or something like that, right?
Open brace wait. There is no such syntax. Open brace wait. What are you talking
The
about?
text configuration, you use that for browser and
Oh,
you are there only we can use that.
Yeah, that CP of that thing, and that you have that wait. Okay, that timeout. That time is so if you see this one, you're talking about this wait time, and this wait
yeah.
time, yes, this is this value, but this value, uh, what we for any static value. So if you just want that number, let's say 6,000 number, if you want to use in your test case, this wait time, it doesn't mean that it is only related to wait. We are just assigning some value to this variable. So we named it to a wait time, but when we say this wait time, that doesn't mean anywhere we are using wait that would come into picture. So in logout for wait on, if we want value to be that sort of some number, then that number is what we can use it here. So here in tbox wait, we need under value section, we need some number. So the sum number would be like, instead of 5,000, we want to use that number. So that number would be what? CP of wait time. So with this, what are we saying is, if you translate this value, it would come what? 6 seconds. Now this 6 seconds is, uh, it is just like 6,000 value is coming here, nothing else, not more than it. So that 6,000 value we are giving to this duration name of this module. When we give that value to that name, to this module, then Tosca would identify, okay, I have to wait for this much of duration. Value of that duration is in value section. So it is that way. When you use this module, the custom module, we are, if we give number, what does this element to that number? There is no such relationship in this. I hope I'm clear.
Yeah, Pradeep. Yeah.
Yeah. So dynamic wait, when I'm saying, so this is static wait. 6 seconds is what we are giving, and wait wait time, I would say, because time whatever we give, we don't know what time. So here we are just saying wait time. So wait time, we are giving it here. So this is 6 seconds. So application has opened login link, let's say if it is opened in 3 seconds. So but after 3 seconds we can move forward, but this wait time won't allow us to continue after 3 seconds. It would be waiting for whatever time is specified, and then it moves on the next one. So this is the drawback of using that static wait. This static wait, yes, in some cases wherein for sure we have to use it. The dynamic wait, sometimes it doesn't work. So in those cases we have to use this static wait. And yeah, for sure, or depending on your application, you would be knowing it. Here, if I use dynamic wait, it is not working. Let's use static wait, and there you have to use some sort of the static wait. And uh, in that cases, this static wait would be functioning according to our requirement. And dynamic wait, yes, most of the cases it would be working fine. So dynamic here, what are we saying? Wait on for logout button to appear. So I can say wait on or log out to appear, or why are we doing this log out to appear? So assuming wait on for logged in page to be displayed, something like this. So after credentials, so we are waiting on to appear for this login page to display. So how we are identify that logged in page is displayed? With the help of logout button. So if logout button appears on the screen, we would assume, okay, it is logged in. And then, okay, we also want to verify again. So even wait on is some kind of verification, wherein it just, if this step is executed, we can assume, okay, logged in screen is appeared. But then it is a good habit to what add a proper wait on like verification step. So to add a proper verification step, we would be using that verify thing. So what I will do is, we need home page, right? So I'll say home page, and if you see home page, yes, this one, I need this element, and then in this, so user account. So I can say user account verify, user account to what exist visible enable equals to true. We can do that, or else I can also say take the inner text of this user account element, and I know inner text of that user account element is my email ID which I am giving at gmail.com. So pradeepdawalji@gmail.com is what I have given, and now this is what, yes, we are verifying logged in pages display.
Pradeep, have you taken the
Yeah.
color for verify explicitly? Verify
Color?
action mode. Action mode.
Yeah, no, color, it automatically comes. So if you say input, it goes that, and then if you select verify, it would be green. So this is from Tosca. You're talking about this color, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So here we are verifying this elements property with inner text. Even you can do the same thing for logout. Logout. Let's say you want to uh, log out. When we did, we had already got the inner text of that. And also, let's say on the page, if you just want to verify that one as well, you can do it. Or if you want to store, let's say just want to okay, here it is what we are verifying, this one. Or instead of this, what else should I just, yeah, for now let it be this one. I will give another example of the buffered one. So this one would be more than enough for us to verify this thing. Now after this, what do we want to do? We can also take screenshot again, right? So in this screenshot again, if you see environment, it is optional, but it is like desktop or mobile. So you can select desktop if you are doing desktop, and mobile if you are doing mobile testing. And even if you don't give by default, Tosca would take wherever we are executing that sort of screen shot is what it takes. But yeah, if you want, you can give the value as desktop as well. So this is one. Now after logged in screen, I want to verify. Let's say I want to take screenshot. So I'll copy this step, paste it here. Screenshot, I would say successful login. I'll just name it as this way, and then that I will give it here. So we would have screenshot of that successful login, and then after login, we want to also do logout. So if you want to do logout, yes, call that module again, and here you can say click logout or click logout link, anything else. So I'll just click this.
Pradeep,
So this
I think there should be some wait time, right, Pradeep? Like, for login and log off in between.
so after login, we are just waiting for the page to appear. This wait time is there, and then we are verifying something, and then we are logging out. Do you really think we need any other wait times? Why would we need further more wait times? Wait on time is already there, so this would wait for the login page to appear. It would make sure, and then do this. And now this steps, whatever you are saying, yeah, if you think it is relevant, now as in this case, you have to be thorough with manual step. Now you just have to refer what your manual test case is saying. So go
Okay.
through the manual test case properly, and if you think, okay, there like few things they would be saying it, okay, after login we have to do this, verify this one, and then log out. So directly you try to do that with
Okay.
that thing. If you are able to do it, fine. Within this, if you observe something is like, okay, we are not directly kind of trying to verify, but page is sometimes loading, refreshing, have to wait, this thing, then based on that sort of scenario, you just have to use, you thought, okay, I have to add furthermore wait on or click some element, and then I can just log out. So that sort of changes, yes, you can do it in your automation script, but most of the time it should be similar to what manual steps are saying.
Like there. Okay. Got it. Got it. Buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. So my manual steps, so this whatever things I am doing, it is I'm doing it as per the manual steps. So yeah, here I'm just logging out, and after log out, I would want to close my browser. That is my last step. So to close browser, we know already we can use this close browser module with the title of demo star, meaning a demo star. If it is there, we are fine with this. So yes, I will use this module, and then this is what we are closing. That's it. So this is our fourth test case. Now if I'll just log out, close, I'll close this browser thing. I will save it, and I will want to execute it. So I can right click, run Scratchbook or F6, shortcut F6, or I can execute in execution list. So if you see in here, so one test case I have deleted, that it was 3, right? That I have deleted, and it was there in execution list, but that execution list I have not removed it. So here that's why it is saying no test case assigned. So this is the one, that test case I have just before start I had deleted. So this is nowhere we are going to use. So I'm deleting it now. So if you want, this is what my first test case. You see this one. Uh, Next things are, we have these things as well, right? So you can drag and drop those test cases. So I'll drag this, drop it into my execution list where I want to execute, and then right click, run. I can do that. And I have also used this folder itself, right? The whole folder. And I just even don't have to drag and drop. What I would say is, on my execution list on this thing, I would get option called synchronize. As soon as I synchronize, you can see what all test cases are available in that folder would also be shown here. So I'll just click on this, and then you see third, fourth has been added. And now I can execute it. So if you want this first test case to be executed, you can keep it this way. We are not doing much things, so we can keep it that. And so we have this all test cases. So if we want to execute all of these test cases, uh, let's say, oh, we delete, we are nowhere closing this one. So since we are not
Hello,
I
Pradeep.
would
Your
have
voice is breaking.
these things are there, right? Multiple times it's been executed. Execution list, I'll rename it first. Yeah, yeah. Are you there? You can hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So uh, this execution list, I will rename it for my proper understanding. So uh, I will say what my first EL, instead of this demo web shop uh, executions, something like that. I'll say this one, and Yeah, we have all these things. I'll just remove this actual for now. I don't want it. So everything is fresh. Nothing has been executed. 4 are there. So if I just want all of this to be executed, I'll right click on my execution list and run. So as soon as I click on run, so one by one, all the test steps would get executed. I'll just clear the screenshots as well. So folder is empty. Okay. So it is opening in uh, this. What is that? One has opened in Microsoft Edge. The second one is also doing in Microsoft Edge. If you see status, it is showing red color, which means it has failed. First test case failed, second test case failed. Now third test case is also failed. One test case is remaining. Fourth test case, it is coming here, opening a new tab again, and even this would get failed. Now, if you see the failure reasons, you would come to know why it is failing. So you see, okay, here everything was filled, but here if you see 1, 3 are in this thing. So here we are getting this error, value cannot be null, browser config name. So value is what it says, it is null. And this failed one, if you see, no matching tab was found, demo web shop. So demo web shop tab was not found, and we have got this value cannot be null. So if you see to our test configuration parameter, we have given value, which is empty. So that's where our test scripts are failing. And this is where you have to, like, when you are working in an maintenance projects. So you would run, execute, and see once you are clear with the functional flow, what you would be doing, you would be uh, looking into the existing test cases. An existing test case is this, and then once you execute it, you would get some sort of failure, let's say. So when it is failed, you have to come here and check the log why it is failing. So depending on what sort of error message it is, we have to take similar according to that actions. So if you see this error, we can see, okay, there is demo web shop, but it is still saying there is no match. There is no tab, matching tab with
You,
this thing.
yeah, you mentioned CP, but there in the test configuration, you didn't give that value for. Is it true? Hello.
Yeah, hello. Sorry, Runa. Yeah, tell me.
Uh, no, actually, my doubt was in the test configuration, you have given uh, this URL in the test configuration, right?
Right, right.
Uh, okay, you mentioned. Okay, for Edge, you didn't give.
For Edge, like any specific configuration you are talking about, or what?
Yes. While launching the browser, at URL part, you have given, right? Is that the reason it is
Uh,
failing?
no, it is not failing for that reason. It is like no matching. You're talking about no matching tab was found related
Yes.
to that. Yeah.
Yes.
So related to that error, we are getting because if you would closely see, there are two things. One is
Your
the actual
screen
failure reason.
not shareable.
Actually, there's a power cut. That's where the system got off. But uh, I'll be back once this power is in. But yeah, meanwhile, I'll just try to clear your doubt on that part. So
Yeah.
regarding that error, the the error is no matching tab. Even when there was a tab, there was a title, this thing. So one thing was on the Edge browser, we haven't installed our Tosca extension. So since we didn't install the Tosca extension, that's where Tosca is not able to identify any of the properties or the elements on that browser. So that is why it was failing. So if we just install Tosca extension on that Edge browser, and then if we run, it would identify it. It would identify, and then if we have got that tab and with that title matching, it wouldn't say no matching. It would try to find the element. So that is the correct solution for that. And now second thing, if you would have seen, there were like when our first test case run, when our second, third, fourth run, so it has opened new browser, a new tab each time. And when you have multiple tabs with the same title, same thing, so Tosca would get bit of confused, saying which one he has to pick. You explicitly, you are not saying to pick if there are this many tabs. If there are 10 tabs, pick the second tab. You are nowhere saying it. So that's where Tosca would get an error message saying uh, multiple elements found, something like that. You would get more than one control found, so you get this kind of error message. So it would be more than one control found for the same property or whatever you were specifying. That's where, so if we have that scenario, then explicitly for that module, for that test case, you have to specify which index, which element you want to find, whether the first tab or the second tab or this. Or how we do in general scenario is, we would make sure when we are doing it, it's a fresh new tab. So the previous execution, previous thing, whatever we do, we would close that tab, and the next one new should be opened. A fresh browser with a new tab should be opened. That would be what our general real-time scenario we do.
And Pradeep,
uh,
in other one, when you have taken open URL, open browser
yeah,
module, so there we have seen active window. Will it work?
right. Active window, yes, active window is, just give a try on that, Aruna, outside. So we haven't used it anytime, but yeah, if you have that many tabs and even active tab, so does it accepts some sort of index, or again, on what basis, what active tab or value we should give? So uh, that if you just try it, uh, let's see. Yeah, because we don't use it that sort. As I say, what we do is, we'll just make sure before running the second test case, we'll make sure the first test case, once it is completed, we will close that browser, and then we move on to the next one, so that we won't get multiple tabs with the same title. Or in the same test case, if we want, then the second test case we would write in a way assuming first the tab is opened, the application is opened, and then we will do the next second test case. It would be that. Am I clear on that?
Yeah.
Right. So that is the other one. And
So
any,
meanwhile, I have other doubts, Pradeep. So can I?
yes, let's continue on that. I've got the power, I'm restarting it, but then I say the timing would also be over. So yeah, let's clear the doubts that you have in our some, it seems. So yeah, one by one, can you just let me know your doubts?
That's okay. Nawaz, you can go ahead.
Yes, Pradeep. So we were discussing on that day, right? Like, regarding, like, properties, like exact properties, what we need. If you remember, Pradeep, you asked me
Oh,
to, ask in this call.
exact properties of the element. So this, how would we have identified with ID, if we have name, if we have, and then if ID name doesn't work, we use all that other properties. So you, about that default name, if it works, it is unique. In that way we take it. So uh, uh, and then this properties, basically these are coming few, like the default name and all, these are coming from Tosca. And the other ones, inner text, the other ID name, as we have already seen, that was like even in the web page, when we right click inspect, and that when we see that specific element, to that element we would be having that what we call is those properties, id or name or class name, all those properties. So that properties are basically coming from there. So that is what developers had designed it that way, and that's where we are getting this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question?
Not from my side, Pradeep. Aruna, can you continue?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pradeep. So initially, for example, we executed few test cases, and now we are rescanning the module.
Right.
I have written it. I forget. Then
Yeah.
taken another element. So rescanning means we are taking another element, right? So my
Yes.
doubt is, if my all execution part is done and I'm about to wrap up my testing, so now because of this adding another element, my executed test case will going to affect, right? Some of the portion was not in an executed way. It will going to show like that. Will it going to show?
When you are rescanning an existing module, right? A module you are talking about. So when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are rescanning an existing module, and that module might have been, let's say, taken by almost 100 plus test cases thing, and now 101 test case is what you were doing it, and for that 101 test case, you would be using one of the existing module, but in that module you have to rescan another element. So when you are rescanning that another element, uh, so if you would see, and there you would add one element. So by rescanning, when you are doing, and that module, let's say if it had 10 already existed attributes, elements, let's say like links and some sort of text boxes and all. So you had 10 and you want the 11th one. So for that is what you were rescanning it. So the 10 were already there, and when you are rescanning it on that page, so some of those properties, it would be for that 10 elements, Tosca rescans, and even those properties would be what scanned. And then if Tosca feels some change has to be done, it does it in its own way. And then so most of the times it would be correct, but very few, very rare cases wherein all the 10 elements, something might be like some properties would be changed, and then because of that Tosca doing this thing, our test cases may get failed because the property of that element that existed 10 elements, out of that something has been changed. That's where our scripts are getting failed. So that can happen. So when this thing happen, what we do is, for what I would again suggest to even to my team members is uh, don't try to rescan a module which is like uh, sitting from very long time in the system, and it's been used across multiple test cases. So if it is there, and if we don't want any changes to happen in that test cases, don't rescan. What you do is scan a new module. Scan a new module, just like we did for uh, this verify error message thing, right? We have scanned a new module, and then in this new module, you would scan the 11th element. And once you have that new module with that 11th element, you can just close the scanning part. And then in the module section, again, for that, you would have one, uh, what, just one element, right? That one element, copy it, right click, copy or control C to that element, and then go to your previous module. To that module, there would be 10 elements. Click on that module, right click, paste, or control V. So if you do that, 11th element would be added in that place. And that is where with that thing, what are we making sure is we are just uh, doing a change only to one element and not to all the elements. And in that case, yes, even previous 100 test cases, whatever this module has used, it is nowhere going to affect. Am I clear on that? Or
Yes,
uh,
yes. And if other 10 elements are not getting affected, everything was right place. Everything was in right place. So
right.
now, if we are rescanning and if we are nowhere we are using in the execution part, that will be okay, right? It will not show any error.
Correct, correct. It won't show any error. That would be fine. That should be fine in that way.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and it's not exactly the doubt. Actually, for URL thing, we are adding them in the test configuration part, and uh,
Yeah.
so whenever we want to change the browser, we are doing in that way. But for
Right.
um, launching the browser, it is automatically taking, and we are no way we are giving that.
So launching of browser, for that browser, yes, this module internally it takes this parameter. So you see this module. So this module, when the way it is coded, so internally it is written in C#.NET, right? So in this code, internally it would use that browser as the variable, and then based on that value, it would be launching the browser.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I have seen the screenshot, manual screenshot on the right click part of test cases, but I forgot where exactly I have seen.
Okay.
Not here in the test case folder, on the either folder or in the test case. If I'm right click, I'm able to see the screenshot. Even I have taken the screenshot. So it was mentioning like it's a manually taken screenshot. Uh, in the
Okay.
attachments, I have seen that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll recollect it and I'll ask
Right.
again actually where exactly I've seen that.
Right. Right.
Because here we have taken a screenshot automatically, but manually
Yes.
also we can take the screenshot.
Okay. Okay. Uh, that part. And yeah, anything else? What else? Any other doubts?
It's not a doubt. I want to tell my wrong thing. That is, yesterday I have that object. That is just a minute. Searching for the object.
Searching for the object.
Searching for the module. If I'm giving the value
Right.
unique ID in the object, so that will jump to the modules, right? But I did one mistake. That is, I'm taking that unique ID from the test cases itself, and I'm giving it, and I'm thinking why it
Good.
is not jumping. Later I
Good.
realized that this unique ID is completely unique for the module and test cases. That's the reason
Correct.
it's not moving
Correct.
later.
Exactly, exactly. So that sort of things, yes, Aruna. So it would happen only when you keep practicing. I would tell one thing, but yeah, you might understand it in other ways. So that's where if you just keep practicing and doing it by yourself only, you would be able to understand. Okay, oh, now here is what you are making a conclusion. So this unique ID is there, and then you wanted the you might have used this module, and then this module related unique ID is what you might be using it to find the module. But this unique ID, whichever you were taking, is not of the module, it is of the test step. So this unique ID is different, and then this unique ID is different. So if you want to find a unique ID of a module, when you use this object jump to thing is, if let's say I have developed one module, and this module, if you just wanted to find it, I will share this unique ID with you to your chart or somewhere. And once I share that, you would go to your Tosca, jump to object, and then here you just paste it and click on OK. So as soon as you click on OK, that module would be opened, and you would be able to see my module at this location, at this place is what I have added.
Yeah.
So
Pradeep,
that's a
when
good
you share
observation.
that unique ID, right?
Yeah.
The other user should also have the same modules, right?
They would have it like when they do update all, check in, we do check in all, update all, and if we have hundreds and thousands, now let's say there are 100 folders, and out of that 100 folders, in 58th folder, under that 52nd module is the one that I have created. Now for them to find, they just have to scan one by one, check all that modules, all that folder, 58 folders or 100 folders, and then they have to figure out which module it is to use. So if they connect with me and they'll say, okay, I want this thing, so I can just say them, okay, I have already scanned this module, and yeah, you can use this module in your test case. So where is that module? What is the name? So name I can give, they can find it with name. But even with name, if they are unable to find it, with unique ID, for sure they would be able to find. So they have to just take an update all first, and that modules would be already there in their system. And once they have it, once we share our the module, not only our but any specific uh, unique ID of that module, if we share it, they would be able to jump it. So it is that scenario wherein this would be helpful, Nawaz.
Got it, Pradeep.
So it's not only specific to modules, but even to the test case or any other thing. Just that unique ID, if you have, give that unique ID and it would jump to that. And this one, if you see the execution part, since we had given just what the browser value was empty, that's where the test case was getting failed, and Edge doesn't have that extension. So that's where the scripts were failing. I'll use Chrome for now, and I want to execute all this on the Chrome. So what I will do is I'll just right click, run, and then yeah, that's it. It should be executing on Chrome with this thing. So maintenance, when you do all these things, basics you is what you just have to focus more on. Basic, if you are clear, yes, you can easily work on maintenance part. So from scratch, however, yes, anyone can do it, but maintaining a script would get difficult, because we would be the one who, if let's say we are not the one who has developed that test case, so to understand and then fix that is what it would be more challenging. So if you see first test case, it has executed one green, and now next second test case is executing. It is again opening in okay, Edge browser, because the test case, in the test case specific, I have given Edge. I might have given Edge. That's where it is failing. And now next third test case, it is opening Chrome, clicking on login, entering email ID, password as incorrect, and it is verifying credentials provided are incorrect thing. It has closed. Out of three, two passed, one failed. And the fourth one, it has opened the browser, login, and then email, correct email password, and then this logged in screen appeared. It is verifying and then clicking on logout and closing the browser. It has closed. So out of four test cases, three passed, one failed. And in here you see three passed, one failed. So you would have this log, and anytime if you just come back, you would always find this log. Now once you would have this log, so if you would see in detail now, so this test case is what it has done all the steps, duration was this, and this is the log. And yeah, this passed ones are this way, everything has been passed. And even the screenshot, if you see screenshot folder, successful login, so successful login screenshot is also there. And then you see this logged in screen with email ID and logout. So with this we are making sure also the script has logged in successfully. And even invalid related thing, if you see this invalid thing at this sort of time, this one with this thing, the screenshots, relevant screenshots are also there. And if you see the screenshot, successful login is what we have given, but some dynamic random numbers is being generated by Tosca itself. So this is based on the date format. So this is 2023 is nothing but year, 09 September month, and then date 28, and then time. Time in hours, minutes, seconds, and then milliseconds. So that way Tosca would be adding this thing to make every time when we take screenshot, every now and then time changes, and even the unique value would be given to the screenshot. That's where Tosca is handling taking screenshots in that way. So we don't have to explicitly worry about making sure the value is unique. If we give same thing as well, it would do take the screenshots with the same name, but again the file name at the later part of the stage would be changed depending on the time. So at very millisecond, this would be the value. The next second, it would be the value, like that. So that Tosca would be handling it. And now if you see the failure ones, failure, if you see click on login has failed, no matching tab was found. Reason was, so this, now you know the reason, right? I have just now said it. So what could be the reason of this? Anyone?
Browser extension or
Yes. So this second test case was executed on Edge. So how would you know? Go to the second test case, check the properties thoroughly. So go to the test configuration parameter, and then here if you see browser is what, Firefox. Actually, it is Firefox. Firefox has been opened. I thought Edge, but yeah, it is Firefox. So Firefox was opened, and even in Firefox, we didn't have that extension thing. That's where it was failing. So we don't want this configuration. Right click, just reset to default. So default is Chrome. It is coming from Chrome, so it executes that way, right? So this is the change. And now if you just rerun, re-execute, this would get passed, because in Chrome we have extension, and this test case is designed to get passed on that part. Uh, so and then the last thing that I want to tell here in this session is, if you see this 3 are passed, 1 failed. Now the reports thing that we would be sharing. So what Tosca would give us is, so once the execution list has executed all the test cases, right click, and you would have something called print report. Print report with all these things. So these are the 4 default things what Tosca is giving, with actual log and issues, detailed log, archive log, and this thing. So you can just check all things one by one. I'll just click one of this option and I'll show you how the report is getting generated. So I would click first option, and if you want in PDF, yes, I would say, and click on, so all pages I want, I'll say this, and then save this. So in this reports section is what I will save, this one. So export one is what I will say. I'll click on save. As soon as I click on save, so it should also open it. So if you see Tosca has opened, so this is the default report in PDF section, is what in PDF way we get it. So we get this Tricentis logo, execution test report, and then when it is created, at what time, and then what was the Tosca version it's been used, and the execution summary of the test case. So there were 4 test case, 100% out of 100%. Passed was 3 test case, which is 75%, and failed is 1%, which is 25. 1 test case, which is 25%. And then sum up chart, pie chart. Out of 3 passed, 1 green, 1 3 green, 1 failed, red colored, pass, failed, and then again execution summary in that, and you would have this one again, same thing. So few things, and the test case names as well, when it was executed, by which user it is executed, and that is what we have got. So red color is failed, so failed ones is what we can look into. So this is what default report. So this is one that we have executed. Same way you can just see the actual log and issues. So you can generate that report. I'll say this one, export to. So once this is opened, you see what is the difference. You can see the difference. Just check the difference. So same thing. Yes, pie chart. This thing we have got. We have got some different way. And if you would see this one, and some logs, extra logs were not there. So only the test case names are there. So if your requirement or the manager or leads would say, or the client would ask, we don't want detailed things, we just want the list of test cases, what is been passed, what is been failed, that is fine. Not why it is failed and all, some logs by which user and all. If you don't want that details, you can get this sort of report. So same way you can just check with the other reports with detail log and archive log, you would be able to see it. So this is about after execution, we do this, we share this report across the team. So do you want only failed test cases to be shown? Yes or no, you can select that part. I would say no. And then do you want screenshots to be included? I would say yes. And that too in between or at the end, I would say in between, which is fine. And then it is trying to get that, export that PDF. And yeah, here if you see this, we would have it, same thing. And then with some detailed information again, executed by admin, start was this, end is this is the module name, wait for 5 seconds, and then this is the log that has been happened. Verification, what was the verification done, expected was true, actually is also true. That is with detailed thing. Again, this one got failed, and here is this, why it was failed. It was failed because no matching tab was found with the following properties. And even this third one, it got passed, and this is the thing. And even the screenshots that has been taken, so wherever we have asked to take screenshot, it has taken that screenshot, and that screenshot has been attached. And even after that, entering username, password, verify, and then after that we have taken the screenshot for invalid login functionality. That screenshot is this. And then the next test case, again screenshots with this thing. So this is detailed information with the log. And then other one, so same way, yes, you can look into. So yeah, this is what you can find it in here. uh, I guess, yeah, we have gone through the all this login functionality related. So for test cases, for login page, we were just doing an invalid couple of variations, and then actual login, valid login functionality test we have did, and all in execution list we have executed, generated the report. So that is what we have done. Probably in the next sessions, I would be just showing you. So the other stuffs, basically the test data, how we generally manage, and some sort of this thing, what are the dynamic things. So I would want you guys to practice and then come up with some sort of like set of questions again, whatever you have, or like whatever I have explained till now on that thing. Any questions, yeah, would be welcome. And the other thing is, if you just practice it, you might get some other thoughts, ideas, and then doubts. Based on that, it would be more clear even for me what to explain and what not to. Uh, uh, However, like in the covered things, if something is what if you're not clear, I would be again explaining it, so it would be more clear in that case. So yeah, this is it for from my side. Any doubts, any questions? If not, then yeah, we are good to close today's session. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.